Welcome. Liturgy for Technology has the goal of juxtaposing tech and church cultures in order to question our complicity in the patterns of oppression technology and Christianity perpetuate, and reflect on how we might be able to shift power to break them. It is written in the format of a liturgy of a Protestant church service, drawing on the form's origins and collective reflection towards public action. Today's central question is, are we designing towards conquest or liberation? Collectively, we will reflect on our roles as designers, builders, and researchers of technology. We invite you to participate as much as you would like, and consider how the experience challenges or affirms what you believe is held true in your contexts. The full liturgy includes a series of references from both church and tech cultures. Today, we highlight a few of these components to give a small taste of what the experience might feel like. Sections that have an asterisk next to them indicate that we welcome participants to stand as they are able. Participants are also encouraged to speak the text that is bolded along with the leader of the service. Please rise as you are able and join me in reciting the hymn of praise written by ChatGPT.
Oh, technology, our guiding light, in the modern world, you shine so bright, with circuits, code, and innovation's grace, you brought us to a boundless space. Hail, technology, our muse and guide, in you, our dreams and hopes collide, you've touched our lives in countless ways, we sing your praises with grateful praise. With silicon minds and fibers grace, you've made the world a smaller place, from wired waves to wireless skies, you've opened up our eager eyes.
Our first reading comes from a manifesto written by Mark Zuckerberg in which he describes his vision for how Facebook can help save the world. Today, I want to focus on the most important question of all. Are we building the world we all want? Our greatest opportunities are now global, like spreading prosperity and freedom, promoting peace and understanding, lifting people out of poverty, and accelerating science. Our greatest challenges also need global responses, like ending terrorism, fighting climate change, and preventing pandemics. Progress now requires humanity coming together not just as cities or nations, but also as a global community. In times like these, the most important thing we at Facebook can do is develop the social infrastructure to give people the power to build a global community that works for all of us. Our second reading comes from Martin Luther King's letter from Birmingham jail, which draws on examples of liberation theology to question the moderate stance of other religious leaders.
As I continued to think about the matter, I gradually gained a measure of satisfaction from the label. Was not Jesus an extremist for love? Love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Was not Amos an extremist for justice? Let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream. So the question is not whether we will be extremists, but what kind of extremists we will be. Will we be extremists for hate or for love? Will we be extremists for the preservation of injustice or for the extension of justice?
Our gospel reading comes from an essay that challenges the notion of well-intentioned people finding meaning from helping others without acknowledging the underlying complexity of the problems. Resist the seductive seduction of other people's problems, and instead, fall in love with the longer-term prospect of staying home and facing systemic complexity head-on. Or go if you must, but stay long enough, listen hard enough so that other people become real people. But be warned, they may not seem so easy to save. Do not go because you've fallen in love with solvability. Go because you've fallen in love with complexity. Do not go because you want to do something virtuous. Go because you want to do something difficult. Don't go because you want to talk. Go because you want to listen. One way in which contemporary churches and tech companies parallel each other is their earnest belief that they can make the world a better place. As the ChatGPT hymn and Mark Zuckerberg's manifesto show, technology is often revered as a guiding light that makes the world a smaller place. However, in trying to build the better world, the institutions of church and tech have marginalized communities, exacerbating systems of oppression. On the other hand, ideas of resilience and liberation are not new to Christianity or technology. Dr. King's letter from Birmingham jail evokes Christian morality in his political resistance by pointing to examples in the Bible of others who have taken extreme measures for justice, calling on the concept of liberation theology, which draws from Black churches in North America and Marxist thought in Latin America. The reductive seduction of other people's problems also highlights the importance of listening hard enough so that other people become real people, that their own lived experience, agencies, ideas, and creativity can be part of their own liberation. What can we learn from resistance and liberation by marginalized communities in Christianity and technology? What is our role and responsibility as designers, builders, and researchers of technology? First, we must question and critique the practical impacts of the technology we build. By critiquing both the positive and negative societal impacts of technology, we can try to put design and policy limits on the harms that the technology could engender and consider how to design technology that would be more liberatory. Second, we must challenge the power dynamics at play by centering the voices of those most affected, not just the most commercially influential. Liberation is about the power, the technology being taken back by the people, about centering agency and self-determination, the most affected by an issue, of those at the margins. Finally, we need to move from charity to solidarity. A common refrain among activists that was collectively developed by an Aboriginal activist group in Queensland is, "If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together." However, embedded in the mindset of technology and technologists as a savior is a charity mindset. To save the world implies that the world needs saving. Conversely, that we have the power and the answers. As the root of liturgy, or liturgia, points to public action, we invite you to not only reflect, but also to act. It is in these actions, challenging and critiquing the practical impacts of technology, no matter how well-intentioned, and questioning, challenging, and reshaping the power dynamics at play, and finally, setting aside our presumption and pride to work in solidarity, that we are able to imagine and participate in a world where technology is part of bringing a new world into beginning of transforming society. As we go forth, let us bring a spirit of collective liberation, of aiming to address structural inequities while centering the lives of those who are most impacted by oppression, by marginalization. Together, we can work towards building a world that is not driven by a need for dominance, rather, a world that is able to heal, to restore. Black liturgist Cole Arthur Riley reminds us that solidarity is the kind of presence that costs you something, our comfort, respect from our friends, and maybe our livelihoods. And yet, that is the cost of participating in bringing this new world into being. Please stand and join me in reciting the Creed, building on the words of scholars, the frameworks and lessons that are available for us to draw from as we're considering our own roles in liberation. We believe in a social justice orientation for design, in the goals of transformation, recognition, reciprocity, enablement, distribution, and accountability, through commitments to conflict, reflexivity, and personal ethics in politics. We believe in following the principles of design justice, of using design to sustain, heal, and empower our communities, as well as to seek liberation from exploitative and oppressive systems. We believe in the tenets of data feminism, of examining and challenging power, exchanging binaries and hierarchies for pluralism, and making emotions, embodiment, and labor visible. And finally, we believe in care when it comes to data governance, in collective benefit, authority to control, responsibility, and ethics when drawing from Indigenous data and Indigenous knowledge. In closing, the final blessing helps remind participants what to take into our lives. We're asked to continue to reflect and act towards liberation, towards something tangible we see in our own community, what barriers we may face in doing so, and who we want to bring along in our journey. As we go forth, remind us that without community, there is no liberation, that we are not alone in our journeys, and that we have each other, that we welcome everyone to the table, and that together we can have the opportunity to collectively sing a new world into being, a world where we not only all belong, but a world where we can all thrive together.